Hi, welcome to another program. This week we want to talk about the obstacles before the US and Ukrainian partnership presents limited opportunities to Turkey, and we want to talk about this topic. You know, there are different approaches within the Biden administration about Ukraine. One side believes that the US should join the French and the German in insisting on the Steinmeier formula that grants the Donbas constitutionally ensuring autonomy and the ability to hold local elections prior to Ukraine receiving the control of its border with Russia. The other White House officials insist that the US should support Ukraine to scrap the Minsk agreement that start over, even if it means escalating the conflict, since the enactment of the Steinmeier formula would be catastrophic for Ukraine. Moreover, US wants Ukraine to support Ukraine's domestic reforms, such as country's entire judicial sector, anti-corruption reforms, agricultural business, infrastructure, climate, and energy sectors. Ukraine needs US, but Ukraine does little to support US policies. We want to talk about this, but before that, please, we kindly request to subscribe yourself to our channel, and we want to grow our community, and if you would like to help us, we will be grateful. On March the 5th, 2021, Biden administration sanctioned Igor Kolomoisky, an Ukrainian oligarch and the Ukrainian President Zelensky long-term business partner who supported his presidential bid in 2019. Zelensky showed no signs of implementing any anti-corruption reforms since it will affect the economic and political balance in the country. Especially before 2024, which is the election year in Ukraine, he doesn't want to do that. Corruption is endemic in Ukraine, everybody knows this, and Zelensky will not find himself under great pressure, not only from the international and domestic players who support anti-corruption reforms, but also anti-reformist players too. Zelensky deputies, who are also loyal to Kolomoisky, quietly work with pro-Russian politicians to block such reforms. So if you look at one side, Zelensky is now really against Russian policies, especially around Donbas and with Ukraine, where we believe, or we want to believe, that his deputies are supposed to support him in regard to whatever it will be against Russians. But we see that Kolomoisky, who is a Ukrainian oligarch, is against these kind of reforms and even can work with the pro-Russian politicians in order to survive. So really, this is a really, I will say, devastating, scene that nobody wants to talk about. But it is really how hard to do politics in Ukraine. You should only look at this picture, you can understand. So Zelensky needs financial resources as well as military equipment from Western allies. US so far supported Ukraine with Javelin anti-tanks missiles, which are vital to stop the Russian tanks in case of an aggression. Zelensky needs IMF, or can be read as a US of course, to continue injecting cash to the economy. But for all that, Zelensky have to do something, you know, or should give something back to international community. But Zelensky should find a new tool to break its dependence to US if Zelensky doesn't want to do so. So that will be Turkey now. How? Turkey cannot support Ukraine financially. Turkey has great debts to international community, so this is out of the picture. However, I will say the military industry can be a great tool for Turkey to provide to Ukraine. Now, we all know that Ukraine have already purchased Turkish drone and some other equipments associated with this drone. But Turkey has also other military equipments which might help Ukraine to, I will say, to strengthen its military capability against Russian military aggression if it will happen. Therefore, once the Turkish military equipment is much more cheaper than the ones that has been manufactured in US or Europe, it is also a beneficial tool for President Zelensky to have it, to acquire it, so that it will be a political tool that he can play against the Western allies. And that's why we can see this relation from Ukrainian point of view, how it might be beneficial. It's also beneficial for Ankara, because Ankara wants to keep Moscow very busy in Ukraine and wants to take all the Russian, I will say, view or concentration in Middle East, such as Syria and Libya. If possible, Ankara wants them out, not only with US, but Ankara also wants to see Russian out of Syria and Libya too. So therefore it's a great tool for Ankara to play with. President Zelensky asked Ankara to have a factory within Ukraine about drones, but I don't believe that, or we do not believe that Ankara will be likely to grant this, because if Ankara wants to do that, it will have a great deep impact with the Russian I would say relations, such as Turkey wants to acquire even 2 additional nuclear facility in Turkey, and which will be Russian made. It will really affect all Turkey's plans in different areas. Therefore it's, I think, out of the question. So far, Ankara has rejected the Russian claims in Donbass and Crimea. Since Moscow has continued to support the anti-Turkish militants in Syria, Ankara believes that they can do the same in Ukraine. Therefore, the Moscow reaction or the protest on Ankara military assistance to Ukraine is always limited and not loud. That's the main reason, because Ankara also knows that, hey, look, mate, I mean, you are doing the same in Syria and Libya. Why we are not going to do the same? So if you give up, I can also give up. So now Ankara is a tool to play with Moscow. But the obstacle between the US and the I will say the Ukraine relations open the window for Ankara to insert its influence via military equipment sales. It will affect the relations between all parties, and including even the Ankara and Moscow, Ankara, Washington too, and even the status quo in the Donbass and Crimea in future. So it is Turkey's new geostrategic access from Azerbaijan to Ukraine. So we are now making a nice Turkish equipment supported, I will say, line that will be, I will say, defending if any Russian aggression will, I will say, in future realize. But this is for now, because I believe Ankara wants to also increase its influence not only this area but also in the, I will say, Central Asia countries. In our previous program about Tajikistan and Turkmenistan, when we were doing that, the Moscow is doing exercises, increasing its influences, wants to take back its influences which has lost after the Soviet regime. I was always believing that Ankara is going to use the Turkish technology, especially drone technology, in order to support the Turkic countries in the Central Asia to strengthen their border security, especially with Afghanistan. So far they haven't, but it doesn't mean that Ankara doesn't have it. I believe Ankara has strongly have it, these kind of desires, and in future I believe that Ankara is going to start doing this, including also the I would say the missile technology, such as Hisar, which is A and O at this moment, the short and the middle size I would say range missiles, for the missile to prevent any missile attack from other countries. So once we are going to support these Turkish countries with these kind of military equipments, they are going to be much more independent than Russia, and we can have this I will say cooperation altogether, which will help us to you know, to grow our business and also partnership in much more better way. So that will be the new or the geostrategic axis that we should be forming from the Ukraine border up until to China border, including all these Turkic, Central Asia, Turkic countries. So if you like this video, please share with your friends and give us a thumb. We will all appreciate. Thank you for watching it and have a nice day. Bye.